Good afternoon and welcome to Science Weekend 1 p.m. News. My name is MWOLOLO and our sign language interpreter is Esther Kendi. So these are the stories that we have from our newsrooms this hour. President William Ruto, along with his delegation, attended the unveiling of the Climate Club on Friday at the 28th COP Summit in the UAE. The event provided an opportunity for the president to meet with the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and other world leaders. The Climate Club, led by the German government, aims to support developing nations in investing in the decarbonization of challenging industries such as steel, aluminium, and cement by offering appropriate technologies and financing options. Ruto was joined by the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Soipan Tuya, PS Festus Ngeno, Attorney General Justin Muturi, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, and Chief of Strategy and Execution Adan Mohamed.
A tendency to ignore Africa's developmental and industrialization needs and the failure to invest in our burgeoning young generation is no longer a tenable proposition. We cannot afford to neglect the immense potential or ignore the pressing needs of a continent on the cusp of transformative growth. Turning Africa into a green powerhouse is not just essential for the continent, it is also vital for global industrialization, decarbonization. Going forward, clear, actionable roadmaps for implementations are required. In turn, these call for a unified global effort to mobilize the necessary capital for both development and climate action.
We have a choice, really, to leave a mark in the world. And our leaders are here. We want to challenge them that let us be bold. Of course, we need massive adaptation finance. We need loss and damage finance, but they should not come at the expense of bring what is most important, emission reduction, the phase out of fossil.
Traffic police officers have now been prohibited from carrying firearms during active duty. That's according to Police Miriam Muli. The directive, communicated through a communique to regional police bosses nationwide, is a response to the increasing instances of traffic officers misusing their firearms while on duty. This decision follows a plea from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC boss Twalib Mbarak to Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome to disarm all traffic police officers across the country. Mbarak highlighted concerns that some corrupt traffic officers were employing state-issued firearms to confront EACC detectives when apprehended for soliciting bribes on the roads. The announcement came shortly after an EACC officer narrowly escaped a shooting incident involving 3 traffic officers caught accepting bribes at Karagita along the Naivasha-Maimahi Road.
It supports our operations is that traffic policemen and policewomen should never be armed unless it is extremely necessary for their own safety.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga has pledged to resist the government's attempt to privatize 11 state-owned enterprises. Odinga criticized President Ruto, accusing him of ineffective governance resulting in widespread corruption across ministries and a rise in the cost of living. The National Treasury has initiated the process of selling government shares in these enterprises to generate funds and reduce annual financial support. The public has until the 11th of December to provide feedback on the proposed sale among the institutions listed for privatization are the Kenyatta International Convention Center, that's KICC, Kenya Literature Bureau, KLB, National Oil Corporation of Kenya, NOC, Kenya Seed Company Limited, KSC, Mwea Rice Mills Limited, MRM, Western Kenya Rice Mills Limited, and Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, KPC. Now, Azimio la Umoja lawmakers intend to oppose the Kenya Kwanza Alliance regime's privatization plans, asserting that the country is heading on the wrong direction.
Wanaanza kuuza ile mashirika ya serikali, makampuni ya serikali wanataka kuuza na wao wenyewe wanataka kununua. Maana hiyo tunasema tutawakataza. Tuwakataze. 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 Ushuru kila siku. Ushuru hapa. Ushuru hapa. Ushuru hapa. Hakuna chochote wanaweza kufanya. Wanaingia kwa serikali bila mpango ya uongozi. Hata wakikaa miaka 100 hawezi kuleta mabadiliko yoyote.
But what we need ni kukubaliana na sisi kwamba baba, bei ya kila kitu iko juu. Kama ni kuja kwenu, lazima tukuje kwenu.
Wenzetu wakasukuma mambo yao ya maofisi ikapita. Ilipofika mambo ya kuguza mwananchi ya cost of living, wakakataa. Na hapo ndio nyinyi mlikuwa mnasikia Bwana Wamalo amekataa kuweka sahihi hiyo report.
Nataka chama chetu cha ODM kiwe na nguvu kabisa. Na mnajua ODM iko katika muungano wa Azimio.
Hatutaki kuona kwamba wananchi tumekuwa hapa na nyinyi tunawaambia muingie kwa ODM, lakini ikifika jioni tumepiga picha na Ruto.
Mko tayari? Na baba endelea siendelee. Endelea siendelee. Ukiingia ndani ya chama mimi nitaangalia. Ukiingia ndani ya chama vizuri nitaangalia.
In other news, in a remarkable turn of events, Postal Corporation employees have found themselves in a challenging situation, enduring a prolonged period of 5 months without receiving their salaries. This extended delay has not only imposed financial hardship, but also emotional strain on the affected workers and their families. Acknowledging the severity of the issue, the government has promised to address the matter by settling the outstanding dues of these employees by December. This commitment signifies an effort to mitigate the situation and ensure that postal workers promptly receive their rightful compensation for their dedicated services.
BC currently owes Postal Corporation of Kenya in excess of 1 billion shillings. We are requesting the National Treasury that those monies which are being released to IEBC be based on a conditional arrangement that at a minimum 550 million shillings from that outstanding financial outlay be channeled towards offsetting the debt that is owed to Postal Corporation of Kenya.
And I'm happy the CS has confirmed and assured us that he has given a caveat to ensure money that is paid to Posta will be paid to salaries that has been owed to workers or close to 6 months.
Lastly, controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie has been sentenced to 12 months in jail for operating a film studio and producing films without a valid license. Additionally, Malindi Senior Resident Magistrate Olga Onalo handed him another 6 months jail term for exhibiting the films to the public through Times TV without the required operating license. The sentences will be served concurrently, and Mackenzie has the option to appeal within 14 days. This decision follows a recommendation by the probation officer involved in the case who suggested denying Mackenzie the alternative of a fine. The offenses for which Mackenzie was convicted carry a maximum jail term of 1 year or an alternative fine not exceeding 100,000 shillings.
In respect to the charge of possession and exhibition, the defense counsel in mitigation stated that the accused had been charged with a similar offense, thereby making him a repeat offender. That, however, the said offense may not have been intentional. This cannot be the case, for once the accused person had been charged, that was information enough to him that he was running against the law, and he ought to have refrained from the same. In light of the foregoing, in respect to count 2, I hereby sentence the accused person to 12 months imprisonment, while in respect to count 3, the accused person's explanation of not knowing the need for a license from the Film Classification Board, having obtained a broadcasting one, is a reasonable, though not entirely acceptable, as ignorance of the law is no defense, hence the resulting conviction. And in light of the same, I sentence the accused to 6 months imprisonment. The sentences shall run concurrently.
That's it for the news updates. We are taking a short break right here on Science TV 1 p.m. news. We are coming back with the sports news. Stay with us.
Assistor is now available on the Safaricom M-Pesa app. To use Assistor, simply log in to my M-Pesa app, go to Services, select Assistor, follow the prompts, and your account is ready to use. To get an interpreter's services, simply click on the interpreter's icon and select an available interpreters from the